showcasing emotion and family connection. I thought I had taken that out of the... I did take that out of the script. What the heck is it doing back there? Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Ninja Steel episode review. First of all, sorry about the hat, but trust me, what's underneath it is proof that even guys have bad hair days. This week's review stood to be an interesting experience. You all know how I felt about the Aiden reveal at the end of last week's episode. And considering what I was seeing, a lot more stood to be revealed this week. So, did they handle these reveals well, as early as it might have been? Or should I just go ahead and gargle more sparkling water, getting ready to yell even more? Let's just find out by taking a look at the 12th episode of Ninja Steel, Family Fusion. The episode starts in a warehouse somewhere, with Ripcon muttering to himself that someone asked to meet him there. That someone turns out to be Aiden, who now openly tells Ripcon that he wants to destroy the Power Rangers. He says that if Ripcon will create a distraction that will reveal to him the Rangers' base, he'll go in and take the Ninja Steel, allowing Ripcon to present it to Galvanax. Ripcon agrees to this. For some reason. You know, actually that cannot be stressed enough. Even he points out that there's a traitor aboard the Warrior Dome. But he trusts somebody related to the Rangers? Ripcon is an idiot. This situation seriously screams trap. And as he leaves, Odious reveals that it's her trap. At the school, there's going to be a talent show that night. Of course, Presto Changeo is going to be performing, but Levi says he's just going to enjoy watching. This really makes sense, seeing as Levi already had his talent show in front of 50,000 screaming fans. Brody and Aiden say they're going to be performing a song that their dad wrote and taught them, sort of a Romero family anthem. They leave to go practice, and Aiden pats Levi warmly on the shoulder as he walks by. But as he leaves, we see his evil, angry face. So, Victor and Monty are wasted again this week, although as my fellow reviewer Japanime pointed out, they are at least far less of the episode. Apparently, Victor's only talent is bullfighting. And seeing as the school, for whatever reason, won't allow a live bull on stage, they're going to need another act. Though, couldn't Monty just dress up? That really feels like something that he'd do. They see Preston levitating his hat for Sarah and Haley, which kind of seems like using his magic to show off, which is not supposed to work, if you remember, and decide to literally steal his act. The comedy gods favor them, as they get a text from Mick and take off, Preston's locker not quite closing as he slams it. They sneak over and take his magic hat. The hat sucks Victor inside of it, and then a panicked Monty as well. Inside, they are menaced by the rabbit that Preston pulls out of the hat. And I just found myself wondering if the water bottle and alfalfa hay were somewhere on the side. Ripcon starts depreciating the local automobile industry, so the other Rangers bust in on Brody and Aiden to tell them what's going on. Brody says that Ripcon is tough and he barely got away from their last fight, so Calvin suggests that they use the brand new Ninja Fusion Star. It's a good idea, but it turns out it's not quite ready yet, as it needs to be connected to the Gold Ranger power. So the other Rangers go to hold Ripcon off, while Mick and Levi finish the star. Brody apologizes to Aiden for having to run off, and I really just have to praise the acting in this scene. Nick Beckwith has actually done a great job of flipping the switch. As Brody leaves, he's really sweet and just says to make sure he stays safe. But once Brody's left, the switch flips and he's evil once again. And this is something I didn't really have a better place to mention, so I wanted to mention it here somewhere in this video. But I've seen a lot of fans complaining that Nick Beckwith doesn't look anything like young Aiden and it takes them out of things. The thing is, yes, he does! I didn't really think this until I saw a picture of the two side by side, but I think they did a fantastic job in casting. Nick looks just like a grown-up Aiden. Now, so does, suffice it to say for now that people can grow up looking different ways depending on a variety of circumstances. But just to see so many people saying that they look nothing alike and it didn't fool them at all because of that, I'm sorry, I'm not with you there. I think he really does look like a grown-up Aiden. Anyway, Aiden follows them and sees Levi slide into one of the base's secret entrances. Where did Mick go? They were walking down the hall together, and then we see Levi open the door, slide on in, and the door closes. Maybe Mick needed to stop by the bathroom really quick? Anyway, Aiden sees the entrance to the secret base, and his eyes flash red. Hey, look! The Basherbots are back! Of course, no explanation for why they're back, no single line about them having built more of them or anything. He's just randomly using them instead of Kudabots. Anyway, the Rangers take them on, sending Brody into another one-on-one with Ripcon. There are parts of this fight that impressed me, like Brody standing on the wall and fighting Ripcon, and there are parts of the fight that did not impress me, like Brody getting kicked and just kind of falling off screen, but in the next shot, flying across the screen. Ripcon gets the upper hand on Brody, but then Preston throws and, I guess, levitates his sword to save him, and Brody takes it so he can dual wield. Back at the base, Mick and Levi successfully create the Ninja Fusion Star, a star that can combine all 6 of the Rangers' powers. In that way, I guess it's kind of like a mini Ninja Nexus star. Levi does that weird thing where he throws it into the air to teleport it over to the Rangers, but Ripcon knocks it aside before Brody can use it. Inside, it's apparently right back to work for Mick and Redbot. Hey! Redbot! Welcome back, buddy! It's only been 3 episodes! He mentions that it's a good thing there's still a lot of Ninja Steel while pouring some out of that tiny little trophy. Sorry, Ninja Steel, not buying it. We all know that trophy should have been emptied several times over by now. And that's when Aiden enters the secret base. Mick tells him that he shouldn't be there, and he says, yeah, you're right. Also shouldn't shoot you with this disabling laser. And you know, I have to agree with him there. It would have been far more effective for him to just kill them! Aiden takes the Ninja Steel and goes to leave, but Levi pops back in, having just forgot his gold power star. He sees everything that's happened and asks what Aiden is doing. And you know, he had an opportunity here. He didn't have to give the whole game up. He could have claimed that a monster had made its way into the base. It shot Mick and Redbot. I heard the screams from outside the wall and figured there must have been some way to get back here. I was just trying to help them. Okay, sure, this lie doesn't last past Mick and Redbot recovering from whatever that being did to them, and maybe he has to give up on getting the Ninja Steel this time. Although thinking about it, not even that really. He can tell Levi, you need to go get the monster. He said he's gonna go get the other Rangers. He's gonna go get Brody. I'll stay here, keep the Ninja Steel safe, and make sure Mick and Redbot recover. Levi goes to fight the monster, and he can still take the Ninja Steel. Of course, instead he just gives up on the whole thing and starts trying to kill Levi. It's a different laser beam than the one he used on Mick and Redbot, further making me wonder why he didn't just shoot them. The two of them actually have a pretty nice fight scene, I think. I really enjoyed that scene. Meanwhile, back with Ripcon, Brody actually gets his hands on the Ninja Fusion Star and manages to use it this time. The Ninja Fusion Star basically creates energy replicas of the other Rangers' swords, allowing Brody to use them to trap Ripcon and deal him a mighty blow. However, he's still really strong, and even after all of this, he manages to escape. By the way, when Brody was using the Ninja Fusion Star, there was this really good orchestral music sting of "Go, go, Power Rangers." I don't remember having heard it anywhere else before, and I really liked it. Back over to the base, where Aiden is still trying to kill Levi with lasers. Levi finally remembers Dino Charge and uses a common object against laser beams, grabbing a car grill and batting a shot right back at Aiden. It hits Aiden square in the chest and flings him back. Levi asks how Aiden could betray his own brother. Aiden, now speaking with a mechanical-sounding voice, says that he's nobody's brother, turning to reveal a huge hole in his chest with robotic parts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we finally are. Aiden is a cyborg and has not been Aiden this entire time. Anyone who likes Power Rangers and uses the internet was already aware of this. Thank you very much, hiatus. But, again, here we finally are. The other Rangers get back to the base and see Aiden attacking Levi, and I love the way that this was handled. Brody is thunderstruck, shocked, and unbelieving. The other 4 Rangers see a cyborg attacking their friend and just pull their rivet rifles and shoot it. For some reason, the shots activate some kind of weird green stream that travels from Aiden to Levi.
Did he have a malfunction in his robot brain?
And Levi starts seeing flashes of memories. They're mainly Odious kidnapping him and holding him on the Warrior Dome, and we can now see that the fake Aiden was also there the whole time, receiving what was being transferred out of Levi. But we also see a young Brody and Aiden and their father around a campfire singing. After all of this, the fake Aiden explodes. Thanks for the 2-episode guest spot, Nick. Anyway, the next scene starts out with something that I found kind of weird. We have seen Ripcon teleport twice in this episode, both times literally jumping up as if teleporting directly back to the Warrior Dome. This scene begins with a small ship flying up to the Warrior Dome, and it seems to be implied that it's Ripcon's, even though it seems like he can just teleport to the Warrior Dome. Anyway, Madame Odious has manipulated this situation perfectly, pinning her entire plan on Ripcon since he suddenly just acted on his own. So now Galvanax thinks Ripcon was the one who made the robot and held the Gold Ranger on the Warrior Dome. Why? Because Galvanax is the only villain on this show that's stupider than Ripcon, if he honestly believed that Ripcon was capable of that complex of a plan. I mean, Madame Odious basically just said, "No, really, it was him," and he believed that? So Galvanax gives Ripcon the infamous one last chance, telling him to destroy the Rangers or be destroyed himself. As I have pointed out multiple times in my reviews, since failing to beat the Rangers usually results in death, this is an empty threat. It's basically just saying, you can't run away from this fight. Back at the base, Brody is still absolutely blown away about Aiden. He wonders how it was even possible, saying that only he and his brother knew that Romero family anthem that they were practicing. Gee whiz, I wonder if that's gonna be a plot point. Sarah tells the other Rangers that a giant Ripcon is attacking the city with some Skull Gators. Levi is still a little shaky, but says he can still fight. The Rangers form their Megazords and very quickly take out the 2 Skull Gators, but the 2 of them form into a giant bone sword that Ripcon is able to use to beat them back. Brody gets an idea, using the Ninja Fusion Star to combine their 2 Megazords. It works because Zord Builder, and they form the... oh geez, here we go, another big mouthful name. The Bull Rider Ninja Steel Wait a second, what? That's not actually what it's called? Oh man, they're actually getting original with the Megazord naming. It's about time. Okay, so what did they call it? Are you kidding me? The combination of these 2 Megazords is called the Ninja Fusion Zord. Please note, not the Ninja Fusion Megazord, the Ninja Fusion Zord. Singular! So, like I was saying, the Bull Rider Ninja Steel Megazord bashes the sword back into two Skull Gators and uses a brand new Master Slash to destroy the Skull Gators, as well as destroying Ripcon. Thank you for 12 episodes, Ripcon. I highly doubt that you're going to be missed. At the talent show, we get the end of Victor and Monty's lack of comedy this week, as Preston pulls them from the hat, and then pulling the bunny from the hat scares them off. Why didn't you just eat them, Bunny? Levi is still having some issues and leaves to get some air. Mick asks Brody if he's okay performing the song by himself, but he says it's his way of not giving up on finding Aiden. Levi stumbles around in the hallway as more of his memories return to him. He now remembers the entire story of being captured by Odious and his memories being transferred to the fake Aiden. He also fully remembers the campfire now and the song that they were singing. As he comes out of it, he hears Brody singing the same song, and everything finally clicks. Brody gets emotional and stops singing the song, but Levi picks it up as he walks onto the stage, and they sing it back and forth to each other. After the line, "We are family," I've got all my sisters and me. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong song. They embrace, and the truth is finally revealed. Yes, this is one of the worst kept secrets in Power Rangers history due to international spoilers, but we can finally just come out and say it. Ladies and gentlemen, Levi is Aiden. The Rangers decide to have a campfire of their own because symbolism and parallels, and Levi Aiden explains the situation. Their father told him to hide, so he decided to change his name. But then his country music, which was probably inspired by their father because the song sounded kind of country song, took off and got really popular, and all of a sudden he was hiding in plain sight as Levi Weston. Then Madame Odious captured him and replaced his memories with false memories, which is why he was having those issues with his memory that was mentioned that one time with the hot dog stand. What's talked about next feels like it was transcribed directly from the writing room conversation. Calvin wonders how they're going to be able to explain all this. Aiden is just gone now, except that Levi Weston is actually Aiden because 10 years ago an alien killed their father and kidnapped Brody, so he went into hiding and changed his name? Preston says that the best way to deal with all this is to more or less pretend that it never happened. Aiden is just gone, and we're going to keep calling Levi that and not Aiden. Makes it easy! The episode ends with the entire team singing the family song, representing how they have really grown together as an entire family. Even Redbot, who is toasting a marshmallow despite not seeming to have a mouth. I, however, do have stars to toss. Episode 12, Family Fusion. Pros, incredibly well-written episode showcasing excellent emotion, nice fight scenes, and the Ranger family connection. Cons, this was 5 episodes too soon for this, some inconsistencies in the writing, and terrible Megazord naming. I can hardly believe I'm saying these words, considering what I was expecting before this episode. But Family Fusion gets 4 stars out of 5. I was really blown away by this episode. I can finally admit this. I was coming into this episode intending to hate it. After the Aiden reveal last week and knowing that Family Fusion plus combining the 2 Megazords meant that Levi is Aiden was going to be revealed this week, I just felt like it was far too soon and they were doing the exact same thing now that they did with Aiden last week. But within the episode itself, this was so well handled. Have you folks ever heard the saying, I may not know art, but I know what I like? That's kind of the case here. It's hard for me to put a finger on exactly how this was so well done. For one thing, I think Will Shufelt did a really good job of conveying Brody's sadness and shock at Aiden's true nature. And I also think Nick Beckwith, the fake Aiden, did a fantastic job, just like I said earlier, of flipping that switch, going from fooling Brody to his true nature. When you get to the end of this episode and the truth is finally revealed and the two brothers are finally really united, listen, it was a very Disney moment, especially with the song, but if you didn't smile, I'm not positive that you have a soul. It was just very heartwarming, and to me that means the writing was effective. There were some great fight scenes in this episode. I thought the Levi-Aiden fight was a great example of someone trying not to hurt somebody that he thought had been an ally, while the other was just straight up trying to kill him. And again, I love how the other Rangers reacted to that scene, with Brody being absolutely shell-shocked, and the other Rangers just reacting on instinct. Brody's fight with Ripcon was also another really good one. There were a few hiccups in the sequencing, as I pointed out, but overall we've been seeing Brody grow both as a ninja and a ranger, and just get progressively stronger and stronger, while Ripcon has stayed at the same level, so Brody has now surpassed him. And the fusion attack was also very visually impressive. I actually remember liking that even in a ninja. I also remember giving this praise to Dino Charge. It just seems like the writers of this show are really good at building relationships to the point that it's just very believable that the Rangers aren't just friends, but a family. The campfire scene... Wait a second, are we also borrowing from the movie here, maybe? It was a bit cheesy, but it was just very believable with them singing that song, and it all just felt right, if you know what I mean. Levi-Aiden, and Brody aren't the only ones on this team that are family. However, just because I liked it does not mean the issue that I had coming into this episode goes away. This was just far too soon to be revealing all of this. I would have liked the story elements for this episode to be saved for episode 17, before a season-ending two-parter. I do realize, where is Aiden, is a question that we've had the entire season, but have we really been thinking about it the entire season? No. If you think about it, Aiden wasn't really a story element from about episode 2 or 3 until he showed up at the end of episode 10. So, the Aiden arc, if you will, lasted all of 2 episodes. I mean, there may be a plan in place here. There may be other stuff that they have to get to. But it just feels really, really rushed overall. And this was the primary reason that this episode didn't get a 4.5 or even a 5. It just feels like a bunch of wasted potential, like there were other really good stories they could have told using these elements. They didn't bother me nearly so much this week because the episode was so much better, but we had some more of those bizarre little hiccups and inconsistencies again. The one that really bugged me the most was Preston once again being able to use his magic in a magic show to show off. The show has directly established that Preston can only use his magic, which is an effect of the Ninja Steel, to help people. And this is where I was expecting a small little element that I mentioned as a possibility before to pop up. Make the talent show a charity benefit. Then Preston really is using his magic to help people. In the end, Preston's magic was just a vehicle for Victor and Monty's lack of comic relief. We also had Ripcon being so dumb, Galvanax being even dumber, Ripcon using a ship to get back to the Warrior Dome when it's clear that he can teleport, and, rounding it all off, the writers basically admitting to the audience that they're not going to go through the difficult storytelling of trying to explain things to people, and are just going to pretend that most of this didn't actually happen. And oh yeah, folks, I'm going to harp on this one. The Ninja Fusion Zord! I mean, seriously, are you kidding me? If next week they call this the Ninja Fusion Megazord, not only will I not deduct anything for the inconsistency, I'll probably add a fraction of a point for fixing a horrid mistake. The writers of this show know what Zords and Megazords are now. This thing is a combination of 7 different Zords. It should not be referred to as a Zord in the singular. You know something that actually just occurred to me? Why does it seem like the writing is so much better for the Rangers' interpersonal lives than it is for the actual Power Rangers stuff? I mean, here we have another episode where the Rangers' personal situations were really written great and handled well, and the Ranger stuff just felt kind of like an afterthought that wasn't given as much time and attention. I mean, Is this the Ninja's influence? Was that Sentai so bad that the writers just can't make as much sense of it as the stuff that they write entirely themselves? But in the end, I probably should have done the pros and cons the other way around, because I thought that this made for a fantastic episode. And you know, for once it actually seems like I'm with the majority on this one. This episode got a lot of positive buzz. And in fact, I've actually already seen a preview for the next episode, and it looks like a fun, kinda silly episode of Power Rangers. So let's take a look at the next episode of Ninja Steel and see if it's gonna be lucky number 13, Ace and the Race. Calvin finds himself increasingly distracted from his friends and his Power Ranger duties when he spends all his time trying to impress his local hero. That is going to wrap up another Power Rangers Ninja Steel episode review. I'd like to thank you folks so much, as always, for watching. Make sure to like the video by clicking the like button right down below. In the comments below, let me know what you thought of this episode and of my review of it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to see all my videos, and ring the bell icon or set up your notifications, however you do that now. YouTube changes all the time, in order to make sure that you get notified of whenever I post new videos, such as this episode review. And now we're going to talk for a quick second about donations, because I did have somebody point out to me after last week mentioning that you could donate to the Red Cross to help with Hurricane Harvey relief, that there may be a little bit of a question about where the funding for the Red Cross goes. I'm not going to throw my hat into that one way or the other, but they did suggest that you might look up a local Houston charity to help. For example, JJ Watt's charity is actually a great one that you can support. And I think that's a really great idea. So basically, do your research and put the money in the place where you feel the most comfortable. I'd also like to say that I am now going to start transitioning back to asking for whatever financial support you can help with my channel. You can still help charities, still help the Red Cross or the local JJ Watt charity, or however you want to do that. I'm just going to start getting things back to normal, so to speak. So, if you would like to toss a little financial support to my channel, and that's something that it's possible for you to do, you can head to digitaltipjar.com/orangerangervid, toss me whatever support you think is appropriate and nice and comfortable for you, and I would really appreciate it. Alright, heroes, after that blabbering little statement right there, until next time, may the power protect you. Sort of a Romero family anthem, which kind of seems like using magic see what happens when I ad-lib. Brody apologizes for having to, he cuts Robot Aiden in half. Brody apologizes for having to run, Levi does that, oh, fart! It would have been far more effective for him to just kill them! But of course, instead, he just gives up on the whole thing and... No! Back with farts! Wait a second, what? That's not what it's called? So, like I was saying, the Bull Rider Ninja Steel Megazord bashes the two Skull Gators. Nice fight scenes. For one thing, I think that, what's his face? Have you folks ever coughed? Still getting over that cold. For one thing, I think that Will Shufelt did a really great job in conveying Brody's sadness at shock. Brody's fight with Ripcon was also impressive and a really good one. And the fusion attack was visually very impressive. But the fusion... I feel like I'm saying fusion wrong, but I'm not. Fusion. This is praise that I also remember giving Dino Charge, but it seems like the writers of the show are just really good at building... right before a season-ending two-parter.